Patchwork Garden by A.I. Mungeem. Miss Smithers rapped on her desk. "Children," she said, "this summer we're going to have a very important gentleman visit us. Years ago he used to sit at a desk in this very classroom. He is now Sir John Meads, and he is coming here in August on our sports day and has promised to give us enough money to buy swings and a roundabout for the playground." That brought the cheers, and it was a little time before the teacher could make herself heard. "Now we all want to do our best to make Sir John proud of his old school, don't we, children?" she asked, looking round her class. There was a chorus of, "Yes, Miss Smithers." She smiled. "Well, you can help make the outside look pretty by making your own little garden patches as gay with flowers as you can. I will give you some seeds and also a prize for the prettiest one." A few days later, when there were now 12 little square patches of newly dug earth each side of the path, Miss Smithers turned to her class and told them to line up to receive 6 packets of seeds each of different lovely coloured flowers. Then she led the children outside and showed them how to sow them. "You can try and make patterns if you like with the different colours," she said, "but do your best and keep them well watered." Joan Collins said she was going to make a diamond pattern in the middle of her garden. Jackie Stewart would try to make a flag. They had so many clever ideas. But everyone was certain in their own mind that Sheila West would carry off the first prize, as she had a garden of her own at home, and each summer it was as pretty as a picture. She now stood in front of her little square, planning out in her mind how best to arrange it. The boy, whose garden was next to hers, and who was a bit of a bully, shouted, "Plant mine for me, Sheila." "No, Paul, we've got to do our own," she replied. "All right then," shouted Paul, "I'll show you." And he ran over and snatched the packets of seeds, pushing Sheila out of the way, while he emptied them higgledy-piggledy all over her little garden, and then ran back, laughing, to his own. Poor Sheila! Paul knew that the little girl wouldn't tell tales, but she was very near to tears as she gently sprinkled a covering of soil over the seeds. "What a mess," she thought, "but I must cover them up. I can't get any more seeds without telling teacher." At last it was August. The children had looked after their gardens well, and they were very pretty indeed. That is to say, all except one, Paul's. He had carelessly pushed his seeds in the ground so deep that only here and there a feeble plant had been able to struggle through. Miss Smithers was very cross. The children stood waiting eagerly as Sir John walked from garden to garden. At last he paused by Sheila's, which through her careful watering and weeding had grown into a dazzling patchwork quilt of a garden, quite the opposite to what Paul had intended. "Well, Miss Smithers," said Sir John, "it is very hard to choose. They are all so pretty, except that one over there." And he pointed to Paul's patch in unwatered earth. The boy hung his head and shuffled his feet. "But," continued Sir John, "I really think that this one must be given first prize," pointing to Sheila's. "The others are so good that I will also give a silver half-crown to each child who looked after them." Cheer after cheer rent the air, and Sheila found herself holding a crisp 10-shilling note as first prize. The others were equally pleased with their half-crowns, and a certain little boy with empty pockets found that it didn't pay to be spiteful.